and you're playing Varus into Nico, Wukong, Ari.
Yeah, aiming and Jiu just not allowed to have a good time here today.
Yep.
There is one person that is going to be having an exceptionally good time, the enemy base wall, and then just recall.
Oh, you know, I heard someone mention the other day, have you seen the Lee Sin Neela strategy? That was rage a bit. I'll explain it after we see what happens here.
Oh, that piercing arrow missing is kind of crazy, but that heroic charge, that is going to land, and then Nimbus Strike has already been taken, so Lucid's just dead. I'm pretty sure he got word of the fact that there were a lot of bad guys over there.
Might be a mistake.
Yeah, they will see that he oh, that was a little bit cute as Lehens does manage to go up into the sky, gets back down onto a minion, is now Lucid, able to get on over there. No heroic charge to take the kill, but Calyx is in position, aiming, wanting to kill Gio as well, as Beryl just trying to be annoying. Can aiming find a Renset? That's the question. The answer is no, just barely. Unable to get the kill onto the Poppy. Oh, such a Poppy situation, as DK once again trading down.
But it is Nongshim who come out clean on this one, and a Callisto falling behind like this, never what you want.
Yep, absolute disaster. This is also not looking super great, but there is some webs down. Lucid gonna need that Q, and he does find it. The extended range helping out, as there is the Tangle Barbs. Yeah.
There's a lot of dashes on the side of Dplus.
They sort of picked into it as well, as now Lehens looks for a cocoon, connects it, as Piercing Arrow as well, takes Beryl down to half health. Lucid clearing out some vision, looking to start off this dragon, will be able to do so.
But yeah, does end up whipping, and that was a nice spot, because Nongshim did have that level 6 advantage for a moment in the AD carries.
Ooh, Gideon thinking about just walking up and trying to kill Shiu. Let's see whether that works, as the Cyclone comes down. There's the ultimate, and it's not going to find the mark. Another Cyclone going to be used, as now Kingen taking a lot of damage, and Showmaker, he wants to kill Gideon, and he'll get exactly what he wants. Morning Mist not going to land, but Lucid certainly will. And DK finally finding a big advantage on the map, evening out the gold. They might give up a plate in mid lane for it, but that is it.
Aim to take the dragon.
Might just be 6 grubs over to Nongshim, though, is pretty scary.
Yeah, I think Nongshim happy with this trade. 6 grubs, and they only get the first dragon. You're fine with that.
Yep.
You know, I feel like, actually, Lucid's just resetting, so, not even going for it.
Who then just rends, as Kingen is not going to get knocked up until now. Ghouliewall comes in, and he's in the Thunderdome. Down he goes, and Shiu's going to be able to lock down that kill. Nicely played by DK, good patience from Lucid, but now Nongshim, no.
Winning that race.
I mean, it's 2 on the top side, but it's also 2 in the bottom lane, isn't it? Because there's the Maiden there as well. There it goes.
Yeah. So, Dplus, pretty happy with how things have panned out in the past few minutes, considering how badly this game started. Now, Gideon trying to take the Raptors here, but maybe just get them.
Trickster, but good hold on the hammer boot from Kingen. As Maiden, save it, save it! Oh, thank goodness she was. Okay, Calyx is what they have to deal with now. As flash out from Lucid, seismic shove pulls him back, and now Gideon comes on forward. They even take down the Maiden. Good answer here from Nongshim.
The bot lane in general, we haven't seen much of from Dplus. Now look for Jiwoo.
Yeah, now we're going to see it, as Jiwoo going to take a lot of damage. Yeah, Rend won't need too many stacks here, as there it is, aiming able to take it down. I think that was a last hit pierce. Nicely played, as Jiwoo invests everything and still dies. As Showmaker connects another nice charm. Calyx actually taking a lot of damage here. The threaded volley, uncancelable, of course. As Showmaker trying to get himself out of the way, and it does not work. Thought that he had the timer on that steadfast presence, but instead stuns himself up and will go down.
Lucid looking, does manage to feel it out and disengage from the situation.
Oh, the flash steadfast presence is beautiful there onto Lucid. Does manage to worry a Trickster, but I still don't think he's getting out of this one. The wall is going to come through, and the Pop Blossom picks up one. Gideon going to be held in position, and Shiu, he teleported in. That should mean that they are able to at least get Gideon there. So tested here, Nongshim will be able to collect that for themselves. That is going to mean feats of strength over to Nongshim as well. As DK, they are laser focused on taking dragons. Some focused assessment I learned from Daniel Orks Harrison. That is the best way to assess outcomes.
It's the best way, you know, see what happens and then judge based on that.
Yeah, foolproof. Absolutely. As Beryl says Oba a few times, and now aiming, possibly caught out of position. Chains of Corruption connects onto him, but Lucid comes on over, and Jiu may have overstepped. That's a flash. They are fully committing to that one. And down Jiu will go. No real response as the rest of Nongshim. Never mind, Kingen just darting on top of aiming, and there goes both AD carries in an instant. Kingen taking matters into his own hands here as the Shock Blast is decent. popBlossom gonna connect onto Gideon and Calix, but Beryl is gonna die immediately, and Lucid cannot do anything about it. Lehens will get taken out, and some Essence to give Showmaker some health back, but the buckler to the noggin, and that secures the kill. Nongshim!
It is just the Captain America build. That's how it is.
Yep. Gideon is a force to be reckoned with. Oh, Deadman's played as well.
Yeah, you just decapitate people with the buckler.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Phase Rush and Deadman's, like, you are running so fast. Kind of ridiculous. As Gideon now, you can see with that red cape, quickly.
He was convinced it didn't take much.
It's time to start it up as the turret is going to be taken down in mid lane. The inner is actually secured. And now Calix getting on over to the rest of the team. Weaver's Wall put up as Beryl. Oh, he wants that popBlossom angle. There is a decent one there as Shiu puts down the Ghoulie Wall just to buy some space. As fake Beryl goes in, that's just going to be a steal! On a silver platter, Nongshim just walk in and take it away! popBlossom onto 2. I don't know whether it's going to be enough though, as they might send Calix home, but they don't even manage to do that. Still, they have everyone here, and one of the withdrawals has been sent out. Lucid trying to escape. Another withdrawal going to come through there as now Gideon, the one that's in trouble, one after the other. They are picking them up, and the Drake could just distract DK for long enough to let Nongshim get out.
And I mean, I think Dplus happy to just take the dragon.
Why are we I don't know why we're there. It's a silly Billy maneuver, perhaps, as, yeah, the barrier is not going to save you, as the shoveler will come after you. Calix has teleported in, and he hasn't actually used his one yet, as now Gideon just, what the heck was that damage? Absolutely absurd, but also absolutely absurd reason to go in. There wasn't quite one. As now Shiu trying to get on top of Kingen, who has a lot of damage, wants to do what he did in the mid lane, as now Lehens comes over. And one after the other, Nongshim are still picking fights after that, and so you start off a Baron. That is what's happening. Seismic shove, not going to find Beryl.
I mean, if Gideon finds Lucid, there we go.
Okay, yeah, Lucid's just out of there. Lehens may die, but for the good of the colony, ladies and gentlemen, Shiu is going to look to try and get some extra pressure on, but I mean...
Well, I think what we can do is we can do some outcome-focused assessments, and whoever gets the dragon, it was a 100% chance they were going to get it because they got it.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
I also think it's 100%. Okay, Lucid over the wall there as Gideon possibly out of position as the Ghoulie Wall is going to... Oh no, he gets a taxi out by Shiu, but Gideon will finally go down. Fate's Call is aiming, wanting to find more. Calix going to get knocked up as Showmaker dives forward. Beryl is just dead though, so it's a 1-for-1. Lucid finds Lehens in the backline, so they do lose their support as well, but aiming's also dead, and Kingen's a raid boss. The rest of Nongshim, with their Baron and 6 Grubs, are still just going to take an inhibitor here off the back end of the fight.
I think the pick on a Gideon was fantastic. And you could have just stopped there. You know, they threw Beryl in at 10 HP. I know he probably was calling for it, but
yeah,
still.
No, that was his choice. He could have pressed the other direction. As now Shiu just thrown around like a ragdoll and destroyed. To the skies goes Kingen, but it's actually Yorick that goes to the skies for real. As now, Beryl finds the angle. Oh, the charm for the finish off is now Jiu looking for it. But Beryl, he's got flash. He tries to get away. DK just desperately trying to hold on to their base. As one inhibitor still taken down, so still a good push here by Nongshim. DK gonna quite get there in time as the teleport just brings Showmaker in. There goes the dragon, the first one here for Nongshim. As the rest of DK now looking to wrap around. These health bars are still relatively low on the side of Nongshim, but still. And Nongshim will be able to take down this turret. But can DK find it? Gee, what are we doing there? It's a little bit scary, but he knew that he was gonna be okay, and he indeed was. Regen somehow avoids that shock blast. As it's a face-off.
I think if the Maiden takes a shock blast every minute, he'll survive.
Oh, there's the popBlossom, connects onto only one. Lehens goes up into the sky, but he comes down exactly where he doesn't want to be. Keeper's Verdict comes on through as Beryl is just dead. A trade of supports, but down goes the Yorick as well. Kingen does so much damage. Steadfast Presence comes through from Gideon. He just wipes up the remaining carries of DK. And Nongshim, they do not want a repeat of game number 1. This time, they really want to wipe out DK, and that team fight did exactly that.
I think they held their nerve. Kingen get a lot of value on this Jace, and they don't make those same mistakes as last time. They don't start up the objectives and just let Lucid slide in and steal it. And Nongshim holds strong in this game. Definitely a messy one. This is never going to be a clean series.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.